Hey.
Good evening. Welcome to Crypto Night in Canada, everybody. Dun 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 dun. Pretty sad state of affairs here in Ontario.
Oh, you had to know when the golf courses opened up, the Leafs weren't far behind.
Yeah. Honestly, actually, I didn't hear about it. What happened in Ontario?
Well, the Leafs lost last night. Or was it 2 nights ago? Was it last night?
Who cares?
It was 2 nights ago. And the Montreal Canadiens will be facing off against the Winnipeg Jets. I think that is it tonight or does it start?
I don't know.
Anyways, we're obviously not hockey people.
It's crypto night.
It's crypto night. Crypto night in Canada.
Drop the coin on the ice.
That's right. So welcome, everybody. I see Jason's in the house, and Carlos, and Candice, and Vedran, and Ken, and I'm pretty sure Jason Spooner's in the house.
He is. It says it right there.
Oh, yeah. And Panda. There's a whole pile of people in the house, and we are so lucky tonight to that side. Not this. No. This is Ryan from the HiRye channel, and directly below us, is Neil, the coin chaser, and then over.
All the today.
Imagine if alcohol was involved, it would be a bloody mess, wouldn't it? It would be a bloody. Even the smallest of a gummy bear would be just.
Oh man. And then we got Ken, the Great White Vapor. So I thought, how's everybody doing tonight? Good?
Pretty good.
Oh, at least the crypto market's not dropping like it was 2 weeks ago. That was
at least it's down. There's no surprises.
No, there's no surprises at all this time. And Cindy's in the house. There's Chris and Nuwan and Rick's here. Hey guys, MC Moonbright. Wow, this is
By the way, guys, I just shared this on my Facebook, so go ahead and feel free to smash the like and share it on your Facebook. Let's have a giant night tonight because I think most of us are happy that Toronto's out, and we got a great crypto night to chat about, so we're going to rock and roll all night. But don't forget, smash that like, share it on Facebook, and let's have a wicked night.
Oh, you're a funny guy. Hi, Natural Canadian, and Ashish is here. Hey, everybody. Okay, I thought I'd start with a fun little joke.
Oh no,
it's borderline a dad joke. Somebody today was explaining to me how the cryptocurrency market was changing, even though I already knew. It was a bit coin descending.
Okay.
No, we don't like that joke. I've got another one.
Either you let me tell the jokes or none at all.
Ha ha ha. Why shouldn't you leave your horse near cryptocurrency? Because it will chomp at the bit.
Oh my God.
I like that one.
I know. Even Candice doesn't like that.
No.
Anyways, well, listen, I have, Facebook was launching its own cryptocurrency. They were going to call it Libra. That was a real missed opportunity. They should have called it the Zuckbuck.
The Zuckbuck. Oh my gosh. Banger after banger.
I will stop. So how's everybody tonight?
Good.
We're good. We've done that already.
I know, but
read down the list.
I don't have a list. Redbeard's in the house.
I'm just happy to see my Ethereum coming back a little bit compared to where it was. It's not obviously where I want it to be. At one point, it was through the roof, but it is. Someone just said, Mark Lazaruk just said, feeling green. I definitely feel better on days like today. That's for sure. And the market's going up too. The S&P is only 1% away from all-time highs, but then crypto too is creeping its way back. So it's kind of green days all around.
Hey, do you see in the news? It's all seriousness, it's not a joke. I think is it a Canadian company, and anyone on the anyone in the community can pipe in as well. But a car that mines.
Oh yeah.
While it's parked, it's an electric car.
It mines Bitcoin.
While it's parked. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Apparently, it's a Canadian car. I swear to God, it was on the
It was on. I think it was
I
around
want
the
to
block.
call it Bitboy. Yeah, around
It
the
was.
block
It
on
was
blockchain.
around the block. The blockchain group that talks about it. They were talking about it on today's episode.
Isn't that a bit hypocritical, where they're trying to save energy and now they're going to have it burn to make Bitcoin?
I saw this funny. I don't know if it was the CEO. It was just a meme, but it was, I guess, a quote that he put out. But it was he was just kind of criticizing the recent pushback against Bitcoin, saying, you know, we're all for kind of. Now, I do find the comparison a little bit kind of rough. I don't think it's the best analogy, but he still decided to make it. But he's like, you know, we're all for electric cars. We're all for this and that, which is hugely demanding of natural resources from the get-go. But then you're taking a dump all over Bitcoin for this one reason. And, you know, Bitcoin solves one issue where electric cars get off a totally different issue. So it's kind of apples and oranges, but he did make the comparison. I thought it was kind of interesting because, I mean, I don't know. I found that interesting. They're making a bit of a mountain out of a molehill on this one.
It's called DayMac.
DayMac?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, as I've seen it in the Redbeard. I think it was Redbeard. Just it's gone by. Yeah,
Natural Canadian and
natural Canadian DayMac. Huh? Mark, DayMark. I've seen DayMark and DayMac. I don't know. I just saw it tonight and was like, that's crazy. And now the rumor mill is a buzzing that Tesla may start accepting Bitcoin again.
Really?
It's the rumor buzzing. It's just the rumor mill. But you know what? I mean,
I wonder if that council was his maybe obligation from the board or from regulators for tax credits in order to kind of justify accepting Bitcoin, just because of the environmental credits that he does receive and maybe wouldn't receive without some sort of effort. I almost wonder if that was just a precursor to them getting guaranteed back into it. And if he only pulled out because of the massive maybe reduction in benefits he'd received from the government. I don't know, because all of his tax credits were potentially at risk.
Well, I don't get it. I mean, it's a good old boys club anyways. Now they're talking about Ethereum ETFs in the States, and, you know, Canada's been out of the gate a while on both, and everyone's trying to play catch up. And, you know, it's just a vicious circle down there. It just seems that, you know, it's never ending with what's going on. And, you know, those who hold the most can control the most. You know, it doesn't matter where we are and what part of the economic scale we are in. It's all controlled one way or another, which is kind of sad. I thought, you know, we were a little bit more free and clear than that, you know?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Seems like it takes away from the whole idea. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. I just wanted to point out that Sanath has put up there that DayMac Inc. is a Canadian electric vehicle manufacturer, and they've announced that its upcoming Spiritus electric car would be capable of mining cryptocurrencies while parked.
It said Ethereum too. I just took a look. I don't want to be mean, but it's not the most attractive thing I've seen.
I think it's just a bunch of something in the news.
I love the idea. Don't get me wrong. I think that's awesome. Like, because maybe the car pays for itself and over time.
It's going to be a sales buzz, because what's going to happen in the future is Bitcoin's going to become so hard to mine. The difficulty is going to be so high that I can't see a car in idle. You'd need more statistics. Like, is it going to be like be able to do a theta hash worth of mining, or a mega hash, or a single hash? Like, they're not releasing enough information. I think it's just hype, just for sales.
Yeah, probably.
That's a good point.
And you need an internet connection for it too, as well. Because if you're not,
and you know what I always thought was that on all vehicles, I always have felt that they should have some kind of solar paneling on the top of them. Think about every time we park our car. Very rarely are we parking our car where we're not in direct sunlight all day long. Like, I don't know why this hasn't been done. Like, it makes no sense to me why that has not been done before.
I think it's the cost of the panels to get a solar panel that will generate enough to actually charge a car battery. They're very expensive. Like, that's like a solar panels used by NASA. Those are very expensive.
I was talking to one of my clients the other day, and he's got a business up here in Kitchener, and I pulled in the parking lot, and there was a lot of Teslas there, and I went, holy man, someone's got the market cornered on Teslas and stuff. And So we got talking about the Teslas, and do you know it was like I said? So he called. I don't know the models of Tesla, so I'm not going to bugger it up. But basically, there's a certain model of Teslas that will go X, that has a range of X amount of kilometers, and then for another $15,000 or some crazy amount of money, it'll go another 150 kilometers. And it's like, are you kidding me? For
It's
another
all literally over
$15,000.
the air. I actually find it to be
Wow.
like the most intense technology ever. Like these upgrades, there are funny articles, and you know, I'm sure they get returned and all this, but funny stuff of people accidentally ordering on their phone by pocket dialing, so to speak, but pocket ordering an upgrade, and like funny stories like that. I'm sure they've again all reversed, but it's insane that they can actually just over the air remotely. I don't know. Like I struggle to wrap my head around how, and also, well, the power that they must have to just be able to just flick a switch, so to speak, and change the entire dynamics of how that car operates and its speed or pickup and its mileage. That's just, it's mind blowing to me.
Yeah. Well,
I don't get I don't get it. I mean, it's not good. I mean, people are still going to go to gas because you have to. I mean, you just look at our infrastructure for trucks and stuff. It's still going to have to stay gas. You know,
of some sort, or
for sure.
propane,
Yeah.
or
Well,
something.
hydrogen, or
It's
whatever the
climate,
case
for
is.
sure.
Yeah, unbelievable. So,
Well, just a second. Nelson says, yes, solar panels the size of the roof truck hood would be extremely expensive, and that would actually make a noticeable charge while being parked. Eventually, somebody will figure out how to do this and do it. They'll figure it out. It will be figured out, and we'll go scratch our heads. Why didn't we think about that first?
There was a guy a long time ago, and this is for all of you. This is so outside of crypto, but just a quick story. For all of you who know diesel trucks and how they've got, especially in the winter time, it can be a difficult time starting it up to heat the plugs and all of that, right? So with diesel trucks, someone had the idea of planting the solar panel on the roof of the single cab with the big box behind it, okay, just to heat the block heater in case you were parked somewhere without any power. Problem was you weren't necessarily into when you don't have, when you're totally outside of electricity and you're dealing with extreme cold, there tended not to be the sunlight to go along with what you needed anyway. But I know that there was someone who tried that out because it was a real idea in the construction area like 10 years ago. But yeah, but I think it's just climate based, really. I don't know. I know in Calgary you couldn't do it ever because the hail here would destroy $2,000 of panels every second year. You know what I mean? Honestly, so yeah. I think it would just
I know.
Yeah.
Some places it will work and other places it won't work.
Yeah.
I want to talk about, we were watching Rich Dad Radio before this podcast tonight or this live event tonight. And Robert Kiyosaki was interviewing Anthony Pompliano, and Anthony was going, he's the guy that convinced me on all this. And it was really, really good conversation. I highly recommend it. I don't know the title of it, but it was the one that was posted today. Anyways, one of the things that Anthony Pompliano said is that, and I want to debate this, but he said it as if this was a fact that you could look up. But he said that all of the institutional investors put their money in the market between 3 and 4 in the afternoon, or 3:30 and 4 in the afternoon. This is stock market and crypto market. And they said all the retail investors do most of their trades and buys in the morning. What do you think about this?
I wouldn't know enough to comment on that. I don't know. I'm all over the board with where I place mine, so I have no clue.
The reason he said that is because he said sometimes because they are going to put their money in at the end of the day where people are pulling money out. So they're going to put their money in, and then the next day, the retail investors buy first thing in the morning, or they put their orders in first thing in the morning. So what he was basically intimating at was that they end up picking up where people are trying to get rid of their stuff first thing in the morning. And anyways, it was really, really an interesting conversation. I highly recommend it. Did you like the conversation?
No, I might have been absent.
What were you doing? You were sitting right here.
Well, it appeared I was sitting right here.
Tim's on vacation.
Oh my gosh, he is not on vacation. That was.
Hey, so who in the community there is all pumped about Doge again? Don't.
Yeah.
Who said that?
Why did you bring that up? Now
Because it's
Ken's
pumping like
now
anything. It's
Ken's
just
gonna
stupid.
talk about Shibu. She knew.
No,
Shibu.
She knew.
Are you still in that, dude?
Free Willy.
You are?
Yep.
Are you like way up? Like what's it doing lately? I haven't heard anything about it.
If I cash out right now, like when I originally sold some, I took my original 1,000 back plus an additional 1,000, and if I sell what I have left now, it's about 2,600.
You're up. Who cares? So
I'm
anything beyond that,
yeah.
whatever.
I mean, it can go to $1. I don't care. I'm already up. I made profit. I don't care.
How
What
long are
is
you
it
gonna
at?
ride that train?
I'm waiting for the wallet to come out because I want to actually stake my Shiba.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Really? You're gonna stake it?
Yep. Why
You're
not?
really that excited about that coin?
Yep.
Look at Mark Lazarick here. Breaking.
Oh,
Here
breaking
is an
news.
XRP update. SEC has just submitted discovery extension request for another 60 days in Ripple case for expert discovery. Prediction, motion denied. Uh-oh.
Well, Mark, keep us
Mark!
posted. Keep us posted. That's all regarding XRP. Mark is really bullish on XRP.
The market seems to not give a SH. And if that was breaking news, it's like, how breaking is breaking news?
I don't
Is it
know.
like within seconds, or because typically 6 p.m., 8 p.m., so that would have been 2 hours ago or just 20 minutes ago. But let's see a timeline on that, because I'm literally going to track it right now.
Yeah, because
I'm
breaking
curious.
news doesn't really affect crypto as it would like breaking news in the stock market.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Really?
People got to think about what they're going to do about it.
But with breaking news like that, with the SEC is
Mark
another
said it
blow.
was 13 minutes ago.
13, so like 604, or let's say 605 their time. Okay, well, I'm tracking it right now, guys. So that's the chart. It's at $1.23 Canadian. Let's see what it's at by the end of this live stream. If it's 13 minutes, that's
You got
fresh.
$1.23 Canadian or $1.23 American? Because I'm showing $1.03. Where are you on CoinGecko?
No, CoinSquare.
Oh, okay. I'm on
It's
CoinGecko and it's showing at
Canadian.
$1.03 right now.
Yeah, I'm at
$1
$1.23
too.
Canadian. So
And
Oh,
he's
okay,
at Canadian.
Right.
We're an
Sorry,
American.
Sorry.
Anyways, Journey's in the house. Hey, Journey, how you doing? Here's the burning question. Did anybody buy anything interesting this week? I know last week we talked about buying the dip. Is everybody holding tight on their positions? Like I remember Tim Perry said he was holding tight in his position and he was going to be quite boring. Did anybody shuffle anything around? Is everybody just riding the market?
I put 0.2 ETH from, and this is why I'm so glad. Look, 2 weeks ago, I shifted half my ETH from BlockFi to some sort of exchange, because as I'm learning more about these altcoins and stuff like that, I'm getting more confidence. Anyway, I shifted 0.2 ETH, $500 odd American worth ish to MetaMask. So I'm just going to kind of let that sit there until I discover my next step. But I'm very slowly getting to a point where I'm going to be buying on there. I have that Uniswap, which has done a whole lot of nothing, but I haven't lost anything, that's for sure. But I think now that I have a little bit, also ETH gas fees, I don't know if they're giving you more options on MetaMask or if it's just gotten super, super cheap. But my last transaction on there was like $5 and something cents. Mind you,
Wow.
it took
Because
it
they've
took
gone
me-
to Matic. People
Sorry?
have left. They're not trading there as much. Like there's a big migration. I would highly suggest setting up your Matic extension in your MetaMask. It took me a while to come around, and it's so worth it.
So wait, is the Matic extension like the MetaMask extension? It's two separate things?
So it's in your
Oh.
MetaMask,
Okay.
right? And it's like if you set up your Binance chain,
Okay.
like there, you can do the same for your Matic chain. And
Okay.
with
I might need
Matic,
to talk to you off air on that one.
yeah, well,
I,
there's lots of stuff, but what it is there's you need Matic for, it's like the gas token, but like one Matic will last for I don't know, at least 30 trades. and
Oh, wow.
Matic right now is in at like $1.80 something. I think it's got tons of potential. Tim loves it. I've been hanging tight actually. I actually bought a little bit of Kusama the other day when it dipped pretty low. I bought a couple more, so I'm pretty pleased with that. But other than that, I've just been holding. I've actually just been buying on things that I have and I think are have a lot of potential or are strong, and I'm trying to dollar cost average lower, which I have been able to do with a few things. So that's really what I've started changing. Like I'm trying to be a little bit more thoughtful in what I'm doing and not react. Like still be flexible to react, but not nearly as influenced, I think, by what I read and get myself excited. I'm trying to think it out, be a little bit more meticulous with what I've done, just because what I did in the beginning was way too much. I was way too thin, and it just it took a couple pullbacks, but I actually have money I'm waiting. I don't know if we're done. I think this is still, today's a good day, but I'm not really thinking we're already going up. I think this is still a bear. I think we're still in the cycle. I just think right now it's going to be hit and miss.
I think we'll go up again. I think we're just, as you say, we are down now. Did you minimize your portfolio? Did you reduce your holdings in different coins?
When about a month ago, significantly, yeah. I really
redistributed.
Well, so I sold and just tried to condense. So I went from, I was holding, I think, like 20 coins on 2 exchanges and MetaMask. And, and especially a lot of it was new and it started going down. And I finally kind of listened to Tim, was like, yeah, I got to get out of this. And I just redeployed. I did get into the pooling with Root and DFIN for 600% APY. I started that last week. So, and I bought a whole bunch of Root, I don't know, 2 months ago, and I've been staking that. So I'm just waiting for that to be unstaked on Ascend, and I'm going to go send it over for that liquidity pool. I think it's still got 15 or 16 days, but it's pretty high. DFIN is our DYFN, I think it is. I'd take a look at that, and it's actually really interesting. It's DEX, but it's a cross-chain DEX, so it wants to work, on Matic and then maybe Solana. Like it's setting itself up to be it's a really interesting project. So for what we're doing, we're staking Root and DFIN for that return, and then
That's
other than
amazing.
that.
But you're getting paid back in coins, right?
Yes, but I already had Root coins, so
right.
It was like, this is a no-brainer. So what I did is I actually transferred from Ascend, the exchange, to my Matic extension in my MetaMask, and then I traded the Root that I already had for DFIN, and then put it in the pool and provided liquidity. It was actually way easier than I ever thought it was going to be.
So,
really?
So which coins are you getting when you're getting your profit back in coins?
Back.
Root
DFIN, yeah. And Root at one point before everything came down, it was at $16. And I'm getting almost one of those a day in 3 DFIN a day for what I'm putting in.
Wow.
Or something like that. And it's nice because right now it doesn't seem like the market's doing much. And I was talking with Tim and our other friend, and he said he's breaking his addiction to CoinGecko right now, because he basically did a lot of he's staking and pooling, and he's taking a break from it because he's got other things, he's got a family and that. So, but it's really, for me, it's really kind of made me chill out a bit. But I think I was just stretched too thin. I was in, fantasy projects that I loved, but the thing I think the narrative that I've started to see is new projects aren't really doing anything. They are, but it's really the other ones. Matic isn't a new project. It rebranded itself. A lot of these projects that are coming aren't new this year. Some are, but the majority are not.
Interesting.
XRP just celebrated, isn't today their 9th birthday or something?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's one that's really moving at times. So I'm just trying to learn and take it in, because there's so much to watch and try and do and to learn.
Be interested to know from the community if now that we've sort of had these dips and we've had some hard dips, we've had some hard, whatever you want to call them, down. Do you feel calmer? Do you feel more mellow, or do you still have like
The FOMO.
Yeah, the FOMO. Do you still be interested to know from the community how they feel, and from the panel here how you feel? I mean, because I can remember that there were some crypto night in Canada and everyone was firing this off, firing that off. And you know what? I don't see that as much in recent crypto nights or on when we do our stuff, Ryan, on Sunday nights. I don't see as much of that. So is it just the fact that people are kind of chilling and just getting used to maturing and just saying, okay, I'm going for the ride. I get it. I've drank the Kool-Aid and I get it.
I think there was a lot of people who experienced the last one, and then there's even more people who've never experienced it in cryptocurrency, and now we have. And if it goes up 15% in a day, okay, and if it goes down 15%, fine. I think it forced us to kind of really take a step back, zoom out for a minute, figure out, do we want to be there or not? At the end of the day, we all decided we want to be there. So now it just, to me at least, I feel even more convicted on it. So these swings are they're part of the game. I mean, it's part of the game. The market can go up for 2 weeks straight, 5% a day, or whatever, right? That's obviously a fake number, but just it can go up for 2 weeks straight. No one says anything. Crypto goes bad 2-3 days, good 2-3 days. People freak out all of a sudden. So I don't know. I went through the first mini crash or whatever people want to call it, and I definitely came out more convicted and so much more comfortable holding what I hold because I feel like I now want to hold it. Hey, Tim.
What's up, guys?
Tim Perry's in the house. How are you, Tim?
You still got FOMO, Tim?
Oh, yeah, always.
Well, there had to be one of us.
Yeah, there's FOMO for like the minute I got into crypto.
We were just talking about how everybody feels more mellow. We don't have people firing at us.
I don't have any FOMO right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's been. I'm not gonna I was. Neil made a joke in our little chat today. Like none of us have even made a message in 24 hours in our chats and stuff. And it's nice to be honest. Like I've gotten a lot mutual friends that Nancy and I have. They were kind of crapping bricks for a bit, so I got them all out because I couldn't handle it. I'm like, you know what, you guys are all at profits. I'm selling you all out. I got Neil and my buddy obviously in reasonable coins that I don't have to worry. So now I've taken that load, that responsibility of managing all these people. So now it's just you guys are on your own. I trust Neil and Brett to do their own thing and be fine. But with the other people that was all the time leave it Tim, what the hell? What's with the price? I'm like, you know what? Then just get out. You guys are still up. Go. So I got them out. So it feels awesome. And I'm just learning the DeFi like no other right now. And it's a really, I'm in a good place right now in crypto.
That's good.
Compared to a couple of weeks ago when you were freaking out, right?
Yeah, well, I realized all my stress was due to because I can live on the edge. I've made a lot and lost a lot. It doesn't faze me. Life doesn't. But the amount of messages I was getting from friends and what if I wish I never gotten this and screw you, Tim. And I was just all right, I underestimated people's reactions and how they didn't take their own accountability. And I'm a type of person that just even if I was in their shoes, I would have never been what have you done to me? And it's $500 the one girl that I got into, and she's like, Tim, I told you. Da, 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 da. I'm like, it's $500.
I couldn't lose that money.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I had to prioritize. I went to my friends who had more involved first to get them out. And the one girl, when she was telling me, I couldn't even get her out because at the time I was going to sell her out, it was $300 gas. Oh, that's the point. And now Union's at 2.5 cents, and she bought at 4, so it's not even that bad. But she's free. She's like, I told you I should have sold at 10. I'm like, yeah, you were right in that sense, but are you here to it's $500. For me, I would have I'd wait. So
everybody has a should have story, I should have.
Of course.
Oh yeah,
lots of them already.
Neil did that today. I should have bought Marcus on. Yeah, and I should have bought Bitcoin in 2011 when I first heard about it.
I should have sold it at the peak.
Yeah,
it's why didn't I FOMO? Because I'm being sensible.
It's the big game I'm learning now is, and I've been having technical difficulties for the past, I've been basically trying to sign in for 20 minutes now because I wasn't that late. But I could hear you guys talking about the Matic network and stuff, and it was killing because I'm trying to get on to agree with you guys. But yeah.
How do you drive Tim nuts? Matic.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, like, and then Neil. Well, in all fairness, Neil's learned a lot, so he basically said what I couldn't have said it any better. But like, yeah, Rye was saying about the Ethereum, and that's when I was just like, Matic, and then Neil luckily took that ball and ran with it. But yeah, no, I'm really trying to learn the whole DeFi, and I've always known about it, but this, like I said, this dump really made me reassess my game plan, and I'm trying to make every single one of my like pennies work for me right now. And if that means taking out a loan so I can still hold on to the Matic that I own, taking that loan, getting into an LP or an LP farm, make that money, pay that off, the loan off, and then take the profits and put it in a bank account or reinvest. Or I heard Neil telling you guys about the DFIN route. Like, that's insane right now.
Yeah.
Those are 2 coins that are going to be pretty higher than the price that they're at right now, and you're getting 300% of both of those coins a year, APY. But I mean, Neil, our one buddy, he's up to about $180, $200 worth of DFIN and root a day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You mean 180 coins of DFIN?
No, $180 worth. So let's say like $90. I think you get more DeFi out of it than you do root. Yeah. So, but like, and right now I'm like Neil. We're still waiting for our root to get unstaked in Ascend. But once we cross over, like root just added another vault farm today where you get 100% of your root after the staking time, which is 6 months. So I'm not sure what I want to do now. I'm like, do you want to do that? Because 6 months runs in line with how long I'm probably going to hold my root at least. So I'm guaranteed 100% there. Whereas with these other farms, that DeFi has this amazing tokenomics. I was talking with, I don't know if Sean's on tonight, Sean Edwards or whatever, on the Facebook crypto night thing, but we were going off a lot. And DeFi right now, like, it has only 30-day farming. So basically they reset it. And if you're not paying attention, obviously, this is where I think it works on getting these good farms. If you're not paying attention, which I wasn't when I first got into one of the route farms a couple months ago, you'll be sitting there and everyone else will move their money into the new farms. And obviously they'll restart it at a higher percentage again. Because me and my other buddy, we jumped in when it was 1,400%. And now it's about 350. So, but you jump in at that first 1,400% for a couple of weeks. Holy crap, man. Like, that's going to pay off in the long run a big time.
Well, so look at this, the Canadian Bitcoiners, which, by the way, I don't know if this is Len or if this is Joey. You had if it's Len, you had a really good video there. I'll just shout out to the Canadian Bitcoiners for that one on the ETFs and stuff. I really enjoyed that, but had a couple of flash loan attacks in the DeFi world over the past week. Burger Swap, and Belt Finance were attacked for a total of 15 million.
I'm going to be dead honest with you. I think most of those are inside jobs, but yeah, no, it still does mean that they're vulnerable to that stuff. Flash loans, especially, you see a lot of guys who know like their numbers, being able to manipulate that. I'm messing with flash loans, but I'm only doing paper trading. Like, I haven't put any money into it because I'm just seeing how well I could, because it's like by the block and stuff. I'm looking more into like the yield credit. You know, I pay out it's peer-to-peer. It's over a smart contract, stuff like that. And I'm paper trading it. I'm comfortable with farming, and I heard Neil tell you guys how easy it really is.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable enough telling the whole crew though. The other day, someone else had asked Tim and I to do a podcast, which we're willing to do soon. It's easier to show it, I think, for just people who don't know their way around, but it's really, really easy. And don't forget, when you when you're in an LP farm, it's not just the rewards. Those are just the rewards Neil and I have spoke about. When you're getting 300% APY on your DeFi and root, that's just on the rewards. You're still have an LP, and that LP is still also making money on every buy and sell in that pairing on that exchange. So every time someone's buying, They have to pay for a liquidity fee. You are getting a pool of that as well.
So those are locked in, right?
Depends. On DeFi, yes, it's every 30 days. You're locked in for 30 days, and then it resets, and then you can jump back in. Whereas on QuickSwap, I have 150% APY on my Quick and Matic, and I'm getting both Matic and Quick, which is, you don't get a lot of Matic deals like that around. And I can go in and out of that, but I actually just found out I would take the money out and then compound it again, and I found out that it was doing it automatically. So QuickSwap actually has automatic compounding.
So is this a guarantee? Like, you put it in, you farm it, I don't know, you're losing some of the people. We're losing some of the people here. Now we've gone into the quick loans and the paper trading, and they're just understanding staking. They've just Googled staking and understanding that now. Now we're going over here. But when you stake or farm, are you as open and susceptible to the fluctuations? Yep. Or is that locked in and it's a guaranteed, here it is, you're guaranteed this APY?
Even more so. So I'll be
even more so what?
Even more so that there's more risk. You have what's called impermanent loss, and our buddy already had it happen to him. But this is why I always tell everybody, impermanent loss is basically so you have to obviously create an LP in a pairing. So I have QuickSwap, and then I have Matic, and that's a pairing, and you have to do 50-50 of each. So I'm not going to say how much I did, but let's just use a number. You do $100 QuickSwap, and you do $100 in Matic, and then you add liquidity, and then it creates a liquidity token. And you take that liquidity token, and then you can farm with it. You don't have to do anything else. You can just create the LP token and just earn fees on the LP. This still makes you susceptible to impermanent loss. So let's just say you have this $100 that you started in, $100 in Matic, $100 in Quick. If Matic was to go on a super big tear, you would end up, if you were to take out your LP when Matic was in on that tear, you would have lost more Matic in that. You would end up with maybe $75 in Matic and $125 worth in QuickSwap. That's what called impermanent loss. This is why I only get in pairs that I have no problems being susceptible to impermanent loss, because if that happens, and it has to me, I'm in 2 coins that I have no care long term where they're going. So it depends on what you want to do. If you're willing to lose a bit on impermanent loss on either coin, then I highly recommend doing that. So far, I've done so well with my LPs and my farming that in the long run, it doesn't matter, because you still make on the LP side, and then you also make on the reward side. So I think
we really got to jump into a video on that.
We are. I've been sort of,
because everyone
underwater the last couple of days.
We're all looking at this with it's like reading a different language right now. I am so, like, I'm sure we got everyone
so bloody easy. It's unbelievable. Like I don't even think we had to, I just kind of told, but Neil's gotten used to it a bit. But like I said, I could explain a bit to people like in a notepad, or I'm sure you guys can go on YouTube right now and find it, but Tim and I can still do it just for the crew to make it easier. But once you're on the Matic side, and don't forget, if you're on the Ethereum side, every time so let's say you were to go to add liquidity on QuickSwap for, I'll keep using the one example, which is Quick and Matic. You would have to pay about $10 in Ethereum to add the liquidity. And then you'd have to pay $10 to confirm that for the adding the liquidity to the farm.
Let me ask you a question, Tim. Let me ask you a genuine question, okay? Because I want to know this for myself, and I know there's a lot of people who kind of in these comments too want to know it. If you were to give kind of 2 or 3 resources straight up, or even people to listen to, or a video, anything, whether it be something online, what's the easiest way, obviously, that we can kind of start learning about maybe the benefits, where some more information is with this farming? We're starting to get staking. I mean, I get that. I know a lot of people here are already doing it, but this farming thing, like, do you have any resources for myself? I'm being selfish, but I know a few people want to know.
That's a great question. I honestly just use Google. This is why I sometimes.
Well, of course, yeah, but
No, but I don't trust a lot of, like, I hear you guys keep, and I expose them, and I remember someone saying, "Oh, Tim got Bitbroy or what's his name again? Heavier set guy."
Bitbuy.
Yeah,
Ben.
That guy's the biggest crook in the damn world, and I'll go on record saying it because I know many people who I'm in a chat group with, who he's manipulated so many people, and he's been on so many IDOs and sold right when it came out and kept telling people that he was still in it. They've followed his wallets. He has copied so many people's charts and stuff and said that they were his. Like, this is why. So I don't trust to follow anyone on any of those calls anymore, and I prefer to do my own due diligence on stuff like that. So yeah, I always just Google it. Like, I Google how to integrate Matic chain.
Yeah.
And
Okay. No.
Because they'll talk it. That website from the Matic that tells you how to integrate Matic, it takes 2 seconds to integrate on your Matic wallet. And they
No, I didn't necessarily mean, like, yeah, of course, Google the setup process. I meant for those kind of on the fence of doing this in the first place. Are there any kind of videos or any resources that we can Google, but like to see why this might make sense for us? For those who kind of can't maybe understand the risk value to us, you know what I mean? Like, is there something that, like, what triggered you? Basically, I'm looking for the trigger. For me, I mean, selfish.
Money, man. It's like it's money. I'm making 300% APY on DeFi and Root right now. That's insane. Like, I'm getting each day, like, my buddy's at about $180. I'm not far behind. I'm about $150. I get about 15 to 20 DeFi a day, and it's at $4. Like, that's nuts. If that goes up, that turns into a lot more money long run, right? So if you're getting into a pool that you know that you're very, fundamentally you think that this coin's going to be worth, I think DeFi is going to be a $200 to $500 coin within a year.
Whoa, what's it at now?
Ooh,
well,
predictions.
Let's do the math on DeFi. DeFi is going to be most likely the front lead runner for cross-chain swapping. That means you don't have to go to just Pancake Swap for your Binance chain. You don't have to go to Quick Swap for just your Matic. You don't have to go to just Uniswap for Ethereum. You just go straight to DeFi, and you can swap anything on Ethereum for something on Binance chain. Think about the ramifications of that. Then you have Root, which is going to be doing the cross-chain liquidity. They're going to go hand in hand for that. So they're going to be feeding all that liquidity all across on each other. This is like gangbusters, huge, man, huge. So
you're announcing partnerships.
Yeah, you look at the tokenomics too. They're only at like it's a 250 million circulation total, which would bring down the price. But their tokenomics to bring it slowly out over X amount of years. There's only like 2 million or something like that in circulation right now. So the price will go up enormously until they start adding more coins into circulation. But they have the tokenomics. I think that they seem like really smart people that are behind this. And Matic's working really close.
Nance and I watch a lot of videos. We watch digital asset news. We watch Crypto Casey. We watch a whole bunch of 4 or 5 different people. But what I don't hear a lot of now, and it's just kind of, you're talking about this, I don't see a lot of videos and a lot of chat and chatter about, I hear staking, but I don't hear farming a lot.
And I could tell you why. So
Why?
Just the other day, one of my buddies that I follow on Twitter, they call it alpha leaks. Like, it's kind of like this, if you want to talk about, you used to have terminologies of the day that you did. Alpha leaks and stuff like that. And I saw someone actually, because I've been trying to find the best stable coin farming. So that's essentially like you mitigate all risk. You're in 2 stable coins. So you could be in Binance, the Binance coin, which is at $1, and then the Tether coin. And I'm not going to tell you right now where to go because it is a risky, like the Bitcoin guys just said, there are risky, finance places that you can go that, like Burger Swap and stuff. I don't trust those a lot. So you go in at your own risk. So I can't tell you this. I would tell you if I trusted the site more, but I don't. But there's 1,000% APY right now for stable coins. So you are
Wow.
out of the market. Okay,
Wow.
you are not in any mitigated risk, and you're earning 10 times your amount for the year. Now that will drop highly the minute the alpha leak gets out, because my buddy, because we were talking about this in our private chat, and then he goes and posts it. He's like, look at this. The amount of people that were like in on the thing was like, delete this now, delete this now. Everyone was telling him to delete it now. All the good stuff, most of the generic crypto people will not know of until it's too late. Because they don't want to share it with you. Why would they want to share 10,000 or 1,000% APY? They want that all to themselves, because the more people jump in on that, the more it dilutes their take in that. I mean, like I said, I was in 1,400%. I can't remember one of the pools there on DeFi, and in like 5 days it was down to 500. And don't get me wrong, that's still amazing, but little soother in my mouth because I was being all entitled. And I'm just like, damn it, like. Everyone's finding out about it, right? So people don't want to share that alpha with you, man. And I'm willing to share it to you. The only reason I'm not telling you about the 1,000%, I'm not even in it yet, is because I don't trust the finance site that's offering it. And I'm not even in it yet either. And I'm too wary. Like I said, I have 40% APY in my one stable coin that I'm locked in for 6 months. But now that was like unheard of at the time when I first found it in November. Now you guys are like, we can go and find 100% APY on stable coins and you can get out the next day kind of thing. So like things are advancing, the competition's rising, which is great for us. But if you look hard enough, there are crazy deals right now. And that's why I'm trying to make all my money work for me. So I maximize my.
What fluctuates those crazy deals? What affects that? A bear run, a bull run,
just sheer numbers of people jumping in on the pools will dilute the percentage, number one. Number two, bear markets and bull markets. In a more bull market, you could see those spike back up again. Right now, there's been a steady decrease in a lot of those pools. But at the same time, I still think this is a macro bear trend. I'm still not firm that we're in a full bear market by any means. But a full bear market would definitely affect the percentages of what these coins are going to be able to offer you.
Because if you're locked, because you're saying you and Neil, you guys are locked in for what you say, another 30 days in something?
19 days now. It's got like a countdown ticker, yeah.
But I mean, if that whatever it is goes down, I mean, you're locked in and you're pooched. You're going down with the ship on that, are you not?
I mean, we're all in coins that are down, I'm sure. So I mean, you guys were mentioning Omi the other day. I'm up on all those coins, so I don't know where other people would be. But if you got in en route when I told you about you were in these farms, you're not doing bad, right? And, same with DeFi, you're not doing too bad. But you're also earning for the amount you're earning. Right now for the next 20 days, let's say DeFi drops, 50%. The percentage in APY is not going to drop that significant over that time anyways. People won't jump in as much either, which will save the dilution of that. But I'm not worried about that because you're making so much back in the long-term scope of that. If you're in it long-term, but also like 2 weeks, I wasn't worried, when we had that horrible drop, I unstaked some root because I was like, okay, I don't want to be, because you have to wait 2 weeks after on Ascendex. But with this, I know I'm in for 30 days and I'm out. That's better to me than, I don't know. You're not pooched, put it that way, because when you get out, you still have all those coins you've earned in the farm, and you also have fees that you accrued in the LP. Don't forget, you get cash. Like you get paid. Like I can't remember. I was very shocked. Neil knows this, but this was my first real LP farm that I got in that I was uncertain of, but it was on the Route Galaxy farm a few months ago. But I got way more than I thought, because if you're in a heavy, I'm in the Matic USDC one on Quick because it's the most volume pretty much other than their stable coins. And I'm making insane gains on those LPs. I'm getting paid in USDC. So okay. The market can pooch all at once. I still end up with enough USDC that I'll almost likely be.
So this exchange we're talking about is DFYN. And if you go and look at it, just for stable coins, they've got 60%, almost 70% just for stable coins. And I just saw Matic and DeFi, and I'm like, maybe I should not be sitting on that money.
And DeFi does have the vault. So DeFi does have guaranteed staking. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. So 6 months, I'm guaranteed pretty much, it's 90%, 90 point something percent. So I get basically 100% of the amount of root I put in 6 months. And I don't care if it's a bear market or not. That cross-chain swapping is going to be the hottest narrative to hit crypto when it becomes a thing. Because right now you're already seeing really hot stuff. Like, in my opinion, so far, still the hottest thing is the L2, the migration to Matic right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, it's third place now in 1 month. Matic has gone from, I don't even know, like 18th, 19th place in total value locked for liquidity on the DeFi Pulse, which is the biggest kind of measure for DeFi stuff. And it's third place right now behind Aave and Curve or Maker. I can't remember. But basically, I called it to Neil the other day. I said, expect to see Aave and Polygon in the top two. And I'm now thinking you're going to see Polygon first and then Aave.
It's interesting. I get a email from CoinGecko every morning, and it's just got sort of highlights and stuff like that. But one of the things it gives me is the 24-hour hot searches worldwide, and I've been watching it for the last couple of days. And Polygon has been in spot 2 or spot 3. Binance Coin, SafeMoon, Dogecoin, Shibu, Mina Coin, and Convex Finance have been in the top searches, but the ones that the Polygon has been sort of going between spot 2 and spot 3 for about the last week in the top hot searches in the world.
It's been in the top 2 for CoinGecko. I see it a lot with also. So Lunar Crush, guys, is a great site. You can measure analytics, so it'll show you social media analytics. Right now, Twitch. So you want to watch, and I don't. But this is where Shib and all these things went nuts, is on TikTok with all the younger kids and Twitch, which I don't subscribe to or anything. Those are going, like, you can see the Twitch chats going up in that too. So I still feel like, and right now, like, I know a couple of my buddies were crying today that the price hasn't moved. I'm like, the price hasn't moved for like 5 days. It's recovered better than most coins have since the crash there that we had a couple weeks ago. It's still 300% on the month, which is better than any of the top coins. But there's other coins like Kusama, even Cardano, that have rebounded a lot pretty well. But no coin's up 300% on the month in the top ones other than pretty much Matic. So that should still, if you zoom out, you can still see that there's a hot narrative. But I think Kusama, the pair chains are going to be big. And Nate, yeah, there's a whole lot of competition for cross-chain swaps.
Isn't Ren one?
Thorchain. Well, Ren Protocol, I think, is incorporating with Matic for something else too.
So will we see some of these cross chains amalgamate and sort of not buy each other out, but just sort of amalgamate and become one because they can pool their resources and just be more effective and more potent?
It's a good question. I don't know the whole technicals of if that is number one possible or number two, because another one of the issues that obviously changed my mind and gave me the biggest, aha moment in that crash was liquidity. And here I was, and don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking Union. I still love Union. I still love a lot of those coins that I've talked about. But there I was focused on these niche narratives when, all the leveraged traders that I don't know if you guys have heard some of the statistics that came out regarding that one day, the nightmare crash. But 800,000 people were completely liquidated that day. $9 billion was taken right out of it. Like, wallets just completely gutted. And a lot of those happen because of flash crashes due to liquidity issues. So I don't know, in my personal opinion, I don't know enough about this subject to really, so this is just my opinion. But what you just said, obviously, will they amalgamate together and work together? I don't know, because they're going to be kind of fighting for liquidity. So I don't know, like someone just said, would DeFi be good? my top 2 small caps. I'm not touching small caps until I see a firm trend going back in. There's still, an argument to be made that my little prediction could happen. Obviously, it did not happen on the timeline that I said. But, I'm already seeing more bullish sentiment in a lot of my feed and a lot of my even chart guys that are even kind of saying that there's a possibility that Ethereum and that could start running again, and that mid caps will have their day and then it'll flow to the small caps. But I don't think I've been really spooked out of niche like narratives, and I've been spooked out of coins that don't have, they haven't been around for a while, or they're just new. Because if this is a bear market, a lot of those, even if they've got, like I said last week, if they've got good sentiments and good teams and stuff like that, they may just get gutted by not having enough capital to keep going, not enough to pay for a team, not enough to pay for all that stuff, and they'll just disappear. And I'm thinking long term, and I'm thinking survival of the fittest here. So if this was a nasty month. I mean, Union literally touched almost its all-time low at what it started at. In 2 months, it did that. Almost every small cap coin has retraced 85 to 95%. You didn't see that. That took 2 years to do in 2018, 2019. So whatever this is, you got it. Like, it totally rearranged my mind, and I sleep great at night now. I don't even look at the charts because I'm making hundreds of dollars a day in new coins, in narratives that are absolutely massive. And DeFi might not win. Remember, it's a race. Like Nate mentioned Komodo. There's also Thorchain. There's all these other coins that are doing cross-chain aggregation and cross-chain liquidity providing and cross-chain swapping and stuff like that. But my bet's just on DeFi winning. They've already got a lot of people kind of with the eyes on them that you're speculating, obviously. So
I think a lot of people, I think since it's been read for so long, I think it's kind of, I don't know if the feeling amongst the crowd and amongst the panel is that it's taken the wind out of the people's sails, or they're starting to more and more believe that the bear market is here to stay, and it's contradicted everything that they've heard, that we're going to have a bull and an upswing, in the summer and into the fall. I mean, but this is, I guess I say that, but in retrospect, it's like this is part of the volatility that you get in crypto. The swings are wild in crypto, right? And they're drastic in crypto compared to what you'd get in the stock market.
Absolutely, but this is on another level. This May was on steroids, and even before that, like I said, it took two months to do what 2 years used to do for a lot of coins. That's not something you want to mess with. And I agree with you guys. I don't think we're in a bear market, but it's definitely a macro bear trend. And it's scary to see how many people are flipped back and forth. Like, I haven't changed my bias on the fact that the DeFi narrative and strong narratives are still going to push through whatever this is. And you're already seeing it with Kusama today. And Aave does crazy swings. It's still down, but Polygon there hit 80 cents and then did 100% in a day. All the way, it touched 220 or whatever, and now it's settled around 180. Like, that's not too bad. And I still, a lot of my buddies who chart, they don't have a lot of good, they think it could go all the way back down and sweep the lows of like 120 and if not lower. But they're still bullish on it long term, so who knows? But all I'm saying is you can still make money in a bear market. Had I played my cards right in 2018, 2019, I wouldn't have been as gutted as I ended up, because I let my ego and my pride get in the way.
What are you doing? What are you doing different this time then?
Number one, when Union was up and Union came out with that news that they were going to split into that more coin it was, and send the C-op, and they were going to keep C-op, but send the other the lending one. That to me was strike one. And the minute I put you give me a strike on a coin, I sell a lot. I sell enough out, because you've already lost me on that. Because obviously you shouldn't trust and fall in love with these coins. I hate to say this, and I got to bring up Cardano on this one, but like Cardano gave me 3 strikes years ago on Charles Hoskinson's behavior. I remember reading excerpts from all the people that worked with him with Ethereum, and the guy sounded like a sociopath. He's a constant liar. And I'm like, if this guy's a constant liar, I'm not going to wait for all these promises on Cardano. And here we are, still waiting for smart contracts. So like I said, you can prove me wrong. Other people are working on Cardano now, which is good. But you want to try, I was big on Cardano, like huge back in the day. And I sold out, so I sold out of Union. Neil knows this because I was hammering into his head, like, guys, get out of OMI. The narrative has changed. Like I hate saying this, and I bought the FOMO too. We bought the top on the NFT hype. We bought the top. And 2 days into me buying OMI, I had told Neil, and then obviously Ryan and I have had many conversations there for a couple weeks during that conversation where we were questioning the social awareness psychologically. Did we just buy the top of this, guys? And that's why I had tight stop losses. I sold, I was out just below a penny, and I started screaming at Neil and my other buddy, get out. There's nobody talking about NFTs on Twitter. There's nobody talking about, you can follow all these social analytics. I saw all the social analytics in OMI and Eternity dropping, and I'm going, guys, you can even follow the dominance of the NFT sector, and it was dropping. I'm going, guys, get out. So, I don't sit around now and wait, and I heard Neil say this earlier as I was trying to get signed in. He was getting out of projects he loves. There's so many coins I love. My favorite coin in the world, Raven coin, I haven't been in for a couple months now, simply because the narrative isn't there yet. But it's my favorite coin. Nothing's going to change it. Nothing's going to change that I like Union, but I like making a living and, not being an idiot a lot more than being right. No, it's true though. You have to hold yourself accountable sometimes, guys. I was an idiot for so long. So when you guys lose money, don't sugarcoat yourself. I'm sorry. Like I treat it like, back when I used to help people work, when I used to help instruct in fitness and stuff. This soft love we're giving people doesn't help. If you're in a narrative that is hurting right now and you're in this to make money, if you're in this to fall in love and for the tech, do whatever you want. But if you're in this to make money, smarten your ass up and get the hell out of narratives that are sinking. Get into the bigger stuff and follow the trend.
You're right. But then there's some of us that didn't get out of OMI, and now we're sitting with all of these coins at very, 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 very low rate. I'm kind of with Verena. I'm like, okay, well, we're just going to have to hang on now.
And you're not wrong. And I guarantee you the NFT, DeFi came in hot last year. And we had a DeFi summer. And that's where I made a lot of money in Oslo. And then the fall came and I jumped in NFTs just a little too soon, which, I was really timed that wrong. And I got into a gambling type situation. But had I just held my DeFi coins, I had 240,000, which would have turned out to be 2,400 coins worth of Aave, which would have obviously at its height put me into the $1 million status. I could have sat there and cried about it, and that's what most people do, right? Most people of my friends have cried and sold, and they've everything. I learned from my mistakes, and I pivoted, and I said, how can I make more money in this bull? If this is a bull market, if this is a macro bull trend, whatever this is, how do I continue making money?
Wow.
Like Tim and Nancy have given me some money, and we obviously don't need to get into how much. Tim, you had given it to me at how much? You were giving it to me when it was at 3,000, and I think close to 4,000 in your last run. And the earliest you gave me, it was 2,000. It has now retraced, and I'm not bragging for you guys, but you guys are still up because I pivoted that, right? You still have all your Ethereum that you haven't lost on your Ethereum that you had that you gave me at 3,500 because I got us into farms and I got us into the coins that are hotter narratives, And obviously, hopefully one day I get to present to you guys, some money and I look like a hero.
I'm really hoping for that too.
Yeah.
We'll have cake.
We'll have cake.
I'm so like I said, I basically just given. I've conserved your money, but right now we're obviously not. We're not going to the moon. We're not where we were a month ago, but you're a lot better off than just have been in Ethereum. Right. And now that I've got the farming and stuff like this, and this is it. Your money's now in my head. So it's like you're also, I want every single penny to work. And that's what I realized. Like, make every single with the DeFi narrative out there strengthening. Mark Cuban just invested in Polygon. I don't know if that's new news by the way. For Matt.
No, that's good.
So
he seems to jump on the flavor of the day, though.
I was going to say, it's funny how people will take a total crap on him when he dodges or hates on whatever we're invested in, but he invests in Matic and it's fantastic. These people, they're just giant whales, but do you guys still, like, do we still honestly blame these billionaires for manipulation at this point? Or are they just on the same train that we are, really?
Well, I've said this a million times. That Elon thing was not Elon. I had so many buddies that were telling me this was going down to 30K. And they were right. So you had some people right on the charts.
I was going to say, honestly, like, well before that Elon tweet, whatever, that was the catalyst, they say, I was seeing all over the place, the parabolic, but like opposite side, and it's going down, and it's literally mimicked. I remember just looking at one tweet, and it's burned in my brain now, if obviously...
Screenshot.
To go on Rise thing, yeah, I don't trust billionaires. I don't trust anything, but you still got to at least take a grain of sand that a guy with some name and influence, if he says he's bought Matic, that still looks good. Like, I'm still going to take it. And I don't agree with the fact that he is clearly out with a narrative. He's high on Aave, and now he's high on Polygon. You know why he's high on the two? Because both of those two are doing this liquidity mining, and they're bringing in more liquidity than you can even imagine right now together, and they're up to something together. So Mark Cuban clearly sees what a few people saw a month ago, and I'm sure he was waiting and probably in this before he said he was, obviously. But
no, you know what? I don't know. I think that they're just trying to do their best too. I think they're trying to make as much money as they can.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're a billionaire, you made it off the backs of a lot of slavery and a lot of dick-ass stuff. So I won't go into that side, and that's why I don't trust billionaires. But yeah, they're still out to make a lot of money because they're greedy mofos, right? So they are.
Are they?
You should never, and don't get me wrong, people like Elon, some of these guys, most of their net worth is all in their positions and their stocks and stuff. But someone like who's worth $65 million, like, Gates, I'm sorry, if you've done your homework on Gates, the guy took open source software, patented for himself, and was totally greedy about it. He stole tons of stuff off other people. Jobs did the same with Apple. All these guys have done horrible things. And then they didn't charge the people that they worked with enough money. The trickle from the top. I could go on about that, but this is Kryptonite in Canada. So
listen, we talk about all subjects here.
I know. I feel like sometimes you can see like people getting ready to go meet at Tim Hortons if we get too far out there.
We got rid of the Leafs at the beginning of the cast.
Yeah, and I literally save all my. I don't talk crypto anymore for a good week now, so I've literally got it all locked, stock, and barreled, ready for you guys.
Yeah.
Even I get bored when you guys start talking about other stuff. So.
I know. Oh.
I'm kidding.
Oh man.
I'm just all I'm getting at is I don't trust really rich people, because if I had made billions, there'd be a lot of people getting a lot of money from me.
Well, most billionaires, that's how they became billionaires. It's manipulation, pure manipulation, and just walking over. It didn't matter who they walk over; they'll walk over them to make their money.
And I mean, Gates did a huge PR. He did not have a good name for himself in the 90s, and he did a huge PR stunt where he made himself look good. And look at all the stuff that's coming out now. I've been talking about him and Epstein connections forever, and now his wife clearly wants more money, probably. But the media blitz on his connections to Epstein now, and obviously people are just finally getting that this guy's not dealing with a full deck.
Sorry, did you say Bill Gates on that had connections with Epstein?
Well, he's been heavily tied to Epstein for a long time. Epstein was doing a lot of his money things. Yeah, it doesn't take a lot to go down the rabbit hole and find the truth. I don't know if he was going to Lolita Island with him all the time or anything, but he was clearly involved in financial affairs with Epstein. Hung a lot out at the mansion because his wife. I think this is a play for the wife has definitely had issues with his ties to Epstein. But I mean, that's all gossip, high school gossip. I won't go any further other than what is what's actually been documented on flight logs and stuff like that regarding Gates. But just reverting to all the stuff that he did with Microsoft and stealing open source software to patent it himself and basically hold it to himself. You know, there's a lot of things. Think about it like this: if Satoshi patented Bitcoin, we wouldn't be here right now in this light. You know, look at Hashgraph. Where's Journey at? I saw him earlier. Header a Hashgraph. Hashgraph would be a lot further along if it wasn't patented by the guy who created it. And it would honestly be giving probably Bitcoin a little more, blockchain a little more run for its money, in my opinion.
So there was one comment today that said the more adoption that governments have to create their own coin and their own digital currency, the more that the cryptocurrency takes off.
Sorry, say that again.
So there was a comment made today on one of the YouTube interviews that the more that a country creates their own digital currency, right? Like China.
Yeah.
And I'm just using China as an example, but it gives validity to cryptocurrencies, and that the adoption rate for cryptocurrencies then increases more than without.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, you know that the government secretly are all salivating at getting their own digital currency, and I've heard, you know, I keep my eye on and my finger on the pulse with especially the central bank, like the big central bank, obviously wanting in on this. And
that was on Pompliano talked about that on the Rich Dad radio show today. They talked all about this Fed coin coming. And Anthony Pompliano said, we got to be smart in thinking about this, because he said when that happens, then the government literally, they could insert liquidity into the market, but they could put a timestamp on how quickly you could use it. They could also determine where you could spend that money and limit
only
it.
Redeemable at certain
only
places.
redeemable at certain places. They're going to be able to control how things come and go, and then
That
he
timestamp
and
thing is freaky.
oh yeah, and then he and Robert Kiyosaki, oh yeah, no, they got going down a rabbit hole on all this, and they said it could come to the point where they could even, like Anthony Pompliano said, think about it. We have personal computers, which we can have personalized playlist. We can set everything up to our personal preferences. And then he and Robert Kiyosaki got going on about, well, if the government goes down this path, they could do personalized inflation rates. They could go, okay, well, you're making so much money, so your inflation rate is going to be this, and you guys are not making that much money. And they're going down this road of universal income kind of concept with all of this crypto with the Fed coins.
Most people are products of their time, and they don't look far ahead, and they don't try to see what's coming. I've been saying for a long time that we have three things that are creeping up, and luckily we're blockchain. Most of the world is still oblivious. Well, I mean, they know of it now, but they don't understand. Like when I tell people about APY and all this, they're like, "What?" Like 40% savings account essentially. Like what? But automated stuff. So robots, artificial intelligence. Obviously, just you can see that even with the integration in blockchain with DAOs and stuff, decentralized automated organisms and stuff. That's going to be huge. I mean, the amount of job loss that's going to come from robots and stuff like that, right? So why not invest in crypto and stuff that's probably going to be interacting with this stuff, and we can get rich off the stuff that's going to take our jobs away anyways. 3D printing is another thing I keep telling everybody. I mean, you can 3D print your tires now, houses. I mean, you can 3D print metal. I obviously, because I'm working in stuff that does this, you can 3D print with like pretty much 40% bamboo now, because I'm obviously looking more environmental impact ways of 3D printing. All these things people don't see that are going to take away our jobs, are going to mess up the whole industry. Is that fourth industrial revolution is coming, right? And UBI they are messing with in Germany now. So yeah, it'll come because people will be losing their jobs. They're going to need money somehow. I don't like it because I've got a libertarian mindset, but at the same time, I get it. I get why it's a narrative, but I could keep going.
Can you guys hear us?
Yes.
No, you must have been muted then. That's why. I was like looking around like, what's happening?
No, we're having a little computer problem. So you guys can hear us okay?
Ryan, what did you send my way?
You're muted, Ryan.
Yeah, he's muted too. Someone put in the chat earlier that if we mention certain things, they're going to come after us. Maybe that's what's happening.
Oh no.
Oh man. No, you're right, Tim. Like I think part of what I always pride myself on myself is that Oh, Ryan left. Part of what I pride myself on is being a strategist, and I try to look big picture, and I try to see the trends of what's happening out there. And I know that this community doesn't like when I talk about it, but inflation is certainly upon us. And I mean, you can just look at supply chain. Like I get notified of all sorts of crazy things that are going on in supply chain. And if you only listen to what the government was saying, you would think, oh, everything's hunky-dory, everything's fine. It's not fine. Things are not fine. It's the thing that keeps me up at night is worrying about supply chain. We have chicken processing facilities that are on strike right now. They've just asked the government to step in because it's deemed as essential. Like you start cutting out people's chicken and
a government, if people aren't realizing this, governments want you to depend on them. And it's becoming more and more apparent that that is the narrative that they really want. They don't want you to think for yourself. They don't want you. I mean,
no, sorry. I'm just responding. There's comments saying that Nancy's mic's muted. It's not. I think he's screwing with you. I can hear. Can you guys? I think we can all hear everything. Sorry, Tim. I could see Nancy looking at it like. What the heck?
I know. I was like, "What the heck?" I did all that talking, and none of you said anything.
I heard it all.
Tim heard it all.
But I mean, to most people that are like, "There's Nate libertarians to unite." Like, I don't like to label myself anything, but the thing I closely relate to is a libertarian. If you guys love Bitcoin and love what it's really about, you've got a lot of libertarian in you that you probably don't even realize. You know, like this is about taking all our power back, especially. And when you realize that we are held back from a broken financial system that is basically trickling down and affecting every other system in this world. I mean, you talk about just what they'll do if we had a digital currency that's pegged to a government, sanctions. I've had a friend who, and it wasn't for a nefarious reason, but they had their account frozen, right? Their bank account. So they're already showing that they can halt your Scotiabank or your RBC if they feel like it. I mean, half the money now is digital anyways. When people always go, "Oh, Bitcoin's fake," I said, what's your normal bank account now? You don't see dollars anymore. When you're just using your card, it's just a bunch of money on a screen going back and forth. And they're just printing it out of thin air because it's a fractional reserve system. And anybody who can call that a conspiracy can actually do their research on the origins of the Federal Reserve and all this.
Think of when debit came out. That's kind of where we are, is when debit first started being brought. That's kind of where Bitcoin, it seems like, is. Because credit cards, like I'm totally dating myself though, is like your credit card, sign it, here's your copy, waste my copy. Right, and then all of a sudden we went to debit, and I think that's what like all this is like it's like the very first stages. Yeah.
Well, everything was still, you could have just, even back in the 80s and 70s, they still had like little computers. They just printed numbers on and poof out of thin air, stuff magically arose, and that's why segues to Nancy's. That's why you get inflation, and people don't even understand inflation at this rate anymore. They don't understand why your dollar's worth less. Well, because there's 10,000 times more coming out. And that's why the one thing, I will always say this, and I know Haas didn't agree with me, but like Bitcoin and all this is still manipulated to the nth degree. You've got Asia and probably huge governments that own so much of Bitcoin, and and thanks to the dominance, they can still manipulate it at will. The one thing though, that is still that amazing, like, fist held high in the air is Bitcoin is still, you still have that trust in the fact that the math, you can't get more than 21 million coins.
Right.
As much as I don't like that it's manipulated.
I'm not sold on that at all.
And,
Like
well, then you need
Litecoin
to
only
do a
has
lot more
X amount of
research.
coins.
Yeah.
But like, no, really though. At the end of the day, if that's the only thing that makes Bitcoin special, it's like like I literally don't care. I'm only holding Bitcoin right now, honest to God, to kind of hedge against Ethereum. That's like I just don't subscribe to the whole 21 million thing. Like, are we dealing with like I don't know, like the first plow ever versus a tractor? Because Bitcoin seems like the plow, and like I don't understand the hype almost around this 21 million can't be the only selling factor for it, because Litecoin can match that kind of model. I mean, at the I mean, if that's all we're talking about is circulation.
Well,
then,
no, I'm also talking about like Litecoin's just a fork of Bitcoin. You know, I'm going.
But at the end of the day, what's the difference though?
It's belief. It's all belief.
Well, I don't even think it's that. I think
belief.
it's a middle finger to the system. If you don't think that inflation is that big of a deal, then 21 million coins shouldn't mean that much to you. But to me, 21 million coins, no more, no less, is a massive, massive deal. It sure sounds simple, but when it's against something that we don't even know what money's coming from, where it's coming from, how much.
I understand the scarcity. It's just not enough. Like
you see, you could have 21 million or billion coins that could be worth nothing.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe that's not the factor that sells me on it at all. Like,
and I'll be dead honest with you. I haven't owned a Satoshi in 2 years, but I still fundamentally think that we need Bitcoin. Bitcoin is that, you know, it is a belief, but it's more like it's the movement. Like, I don't want Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's like at the
movement. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't want Bitcoin at the dominance it's at, because I think, you know, and you're seeing it a lot more now, which is making me think that Ethereum, and I don't know if it's a media trying to play, because there's a theory right now that they're trying to damage Bitcoin's reputation to get the DeFi and the Ethereum to start flipping Bitcoin. And sometimes I actually like it. It's a strong theory, because you're seeing a lot of like, all I hear is Boomer Coin now. And I hear like Bitcoin's being affiliated with just like an old, you know.
What I'm wondering though, honestly, is like you're talking about the fourth or the next kind of industrial revolution, whatever, right? Like, is Bitcoin like Betamax, and now we've got HD DVD, and we're just debating, because that's like the Boomer Coin thing is totally relevant. I mean, someone's kind of mentioning here, rise and nutbag, yada, yada, yada. I'm not sold on the whole. I mean, if we're talking circulation only, then forget the ticker symbol, because we can find circulation and limitation with a lot. So it can't be just circulation, for me at least.
No, it's the math, the cryptography.
Okay, but like yeah, but no, it's the sentiment toward Bitcoin versus something else that's limited in circulation.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. That's the only thing.
Here's the thing, though. Bitcoin is so properly coded. Like, the people, whoever was behind that, that's an ironclad so far code.
And keep in mind, everyone, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. So just, I don't own much Bitcoin, but I own some. But I'm just trying to be the total a-hole in the room, because I've never gotten that whole 21 million circulation thing. So anyway, sorry, Tim, keep going.
The code, you know, and the math and the cryptography, people can see that there's going to be like no more, no less. There's the reason we discussed rug pulls. Rug pulls are when, you know, and I've got a couple buddies that do audits for coins, and they always tell me they can, you know, all these guys who understand the codes better than me, they'll analyze a coin for me that I'm interested in. They'll go, oh, you know, Tim, like there's a mint function, a hidden mint function, which allows them to add more coins into circulation, so that you can say, oh, there's this much coins in circulation, and they've got a hidden function, right? Whereas everyone can look at Bitcoin and know that that kind of shenanigan can't happen. But yeah, like I don't know.
Is it just no? Maybe what I'm curious then is like, because we are in like the beginning, we're an embryo, really, if we're thinking about the lifespan of what this idea really can represent. Like, is Bitcoin not, though, just going to be the inspiration for what's next? Really? Like, I can't see Bitcoin having longevity even in my whole lifetime. Assuming I live till 80 years old, I can't imagine us still using or thinking Bitcoin when we're going to change at like 20x.
Blockchain. We already know what I think about the end of blockchain, you know? So I think you've got five.
Oh, true. You freaked me out last time you mentioned that.
Yeah, I mean, just the other day, like I mess, like I don't know quantum in and out the way some of these people I work with, but I'm dabbling in that quantum, and obviously we were talking about how they just said now that they think that a quantum computer has now the capacity to work at something like 3 trillion times the amount of any supercomputer that's available right now. You're trying to tell me that kind of potential doesn't have the ability to hack Bitcoin? I don't know. Like,
so wouldn't ETH be kind of more feasible down the road, where with that level of computing, I can only imagine the power that ETH could have? Like, if it, I don't know, maybe I'm speaking as a totally ignorant dummy right now, but like, you tell me, like, if anything, what you just said,
dude,
quantum computing, to be able to hack something that's so solid and almost its own individual, Bitcoin, whereas ETH being a proponent of growth.
I never got in Bitcoin. Like, when I first got into crypto, I didn't care for Bitcoin. That's probably why when I first heard about it like 10 years ago, I was like, whatever. The minute I understood Ethereum, I was like, I was in that night. You know, I had a Coinbase account, everything. So I agree with you on that. But the more I at least understood why Bitcoin came about and stuff, I had to respect the king for why it's here. But I agree with you that, you know, things evolve. And this whole narrative that even blockchain will be around in 20 years with the evolution that is technology now moving at such a light speed, I think is ignorant. It doesn't mean that, you know, we'll take it day by day. But for now, blockchain is the thing. I'm here to make some money, sure. But I would definitely not hold on to this structured ideal that blockchain is going to be around when we're 80. I definitely don't think it will be.
Gosh, you blow my mind every time, bud.
But I mean, I don't know. It's because I'm not going to get into it on here. I know maybe I'll come on this other show you spoke about, Rye, with science that we talked about. But yeah, I think people have no idea of what's really coming with quantum computing. And I'm not talking about how you're going to integrate quantum into tech. And this is where I think people aren't looking at for how disruptive it's going to be on being able to hack something like a blockchain.
But wouldn't quantum like combine so perfectly, like assuming blockchain could evolve, wouldn't that be the perfect marriage really at the end of the day with its ability to, because I truly believe this, and this is going to sound way out there, I don't really care, blockchain will figure out a way to use that as a form of communication with respect to its reliability and this and that, go on like for a million years. Now you add on quantum computers to that. I don't know why you would ever abandon the idea of a blockchain. So I can't see it really going anywhere past an evolution stage. Maybe blockchain will be abandoned where it is and grow. The same reason I think Bitcoin's going to be left in the dust compared to what we're going to do and grow, whatever. But I see them kind of married. I don't know.
Well, like I said, like I just mentioned at Hashgraph earlier and HBAR, Journey's favorite. Unfortunately, I feel like he's left. But looking at our Hashgraph, it does like 500,000 TPS. That's compared to 7 TPS on Bitcoin. So Hashgraph already even has more, but it got integrated instead with blockchain. So you already see stuff that, like, I remember reading that Hashgraph because I had kept my eye on Hashgraph as already being the successor to Bitcoin. And then it just kind of got integrated. And then the guys who were behind Hashgraph decided to patent it and hold on to it. Because who knows what may have happened if they had let that go. So, you know, I just believe that there's going to be more organic organisms that are going to take on quantum computing that'll even destroy the theoretical stuff that's behind what we're even saying for quantum computing with computers right now.
We're totally hitting my realm.
Isaiah mentioned there's a Marvel, and we know that science fiction is just a precursor to what happens down the line. Isaiah's a Marvel DC movie, and he's
going to say we're talking totally my language here. This is very Star Trek of us right now.
I absolutely love Cyborg or whatever with the guy who was able that you don't know. Don't forget that our brains still have more neurons firing off than any supercomputer right now in the world. You know, we got something like 100 billion to like whatever a supercomputer right now is now. I think it's like 1 million, 10 million. think about the capacity of our own brains. Not to get far-fetched, but you could be hacking, with your brain. I don't know. Anyways, we don't need to go that route. We'll revert back down to just crypto.
Well,
sure.
Rick
And
says,
I'll
I heard quantum computer language is similar to black holes.
My theory of black holes, I would honestly, I think Rick's on something. I mean,
Is it on something or onto something?
Onto something. Sorry, I do think black holes release some that are kind of the key in and out of the source that is behind that quantum theory. Absolutely.
Well,
but this
also,
is
Nate was saying,
this is not crypto. This is like sci-fi.
It's all right. So what happens? But I just didn't want to respond because Nate's also from my channel too. He said, Rye, working on it for 12 years. It's he says Bitcoin will never be broken like ever. He says plug your brain into the blockchain. Okay, for sure. Blockchain, I just think that Bitcoin might be the idea that is so fantastic that we make it 1,000 times what it is. And I don't think in 20, 30 years I'm going to be worried or I'm going to be even thinking about Bitcoin. I know Nancy and Tim disagree with me entirely. I don't think that I'll be thinking about Bitcoin. I think we'll be thinking about all the things that Bitcoin helped inspire us to grow and do. But look, I'll put my money where my mouth is. I got 10% in Bitcoin of my crypto stuff. So I'm not trying to, I don't know. Who knows? No one knows. There's a million articles that say Cardano beats ETH, another million that say ETH beats Bitcoin, and a million that say Bitcoin dominates for 100 years. Okay. Nobody knows what's going on. So at the end of the day, I just put your money where your mouth is type of thing. I genuinely, though, believe that I don't think Bitcoin's going anywhere. I just don't think it's going to be relevant when I'm older and older. That's all I'm saying.
And if anyone in this crew right now is not taking a lot of money out by that time when that narrative has to even be a heavy debate, and you're not sitting in your dream little house cabin with all the money you made in crypto because you did it right and stuff, then you did something really wrong. Because hopefully when I read that quantum computers, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, bet with 1 Bitcoin on Nate there. But when I read that the downfall of crypto came because of some quantum computer hack, I'll be nestled in my little cabin in the middle of nowhere watching the world burn. So
there has to be a profit exit strategy for everybody.
Food and rations.
Yeah.
Okay, MREs. If anyone's ever had, sorry.
No. I was going to say, but then where do you put the money? Because nobody's going to want to put it into fiat because it's going to be inflated down to negative zones.
We bury the USB sticks in the backyard.
We're definitely not going to see. I mean, I think the digital currency, just like you had said earlier, is going to be a heavier narrative by then anyways. I don't know. It's fun. I enjoy talking about this because who knows, obviously. But yeah, I love going down the visionary thing. But I obviously don't think money will be it won't be as weighted because we're going to we're just I always want to go to town right now. My brain's going
go to town, bud.
I think we should go to town because I think it's heading into summer. We're all sitting here. We've had 64 people continuously. I think they're enjoying this conversation.
Just turn the light on, lock the front door when you're done.
Like who just mentioned Hawking? I think Stephen Hawking, and don't get me wrong, maybe you guys should know more of what I'm working on before you call me an absolute ignorant guy. But I think Hawking was dead wrong on everything. I also think
that's a blanket statement.
No, that's not. Tesla over Einstein. I mean, if you read about what Tesla said versus what when Einstein came,
totally disagree with you. Okay,
that's fine.
Okay, no. I will say this. Because I know you guys hate the guy. I love Elon Musk, but he had something amazing to say. I'm not even sure. Well, the fact that you even said Tesla versus Einstein. Probably a lot of people can make those comparisons, right? But he was even saying Tesla versus Einstein. He was asked about it. Tesla's 20 times more competent, got so much more, with respect to the ideas that could change humanity, but he had absolutely no freaking ability to market his ideas and bring them to fruition. Whereas Einstein, he just didn't. No, later on though, right? Einstein in the moment was simply able to place himself better. I can honestly say that's an EQ, IQ differential where maybe, for instance, Einstein had a balance, whereas Tesla had a freakishly
I
high
disagree.
IQ.
Einstein worked in a patent office. He had access to a lot of ideas.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so now we're going to go down the road that he literally worked in a patent office.
Don't forget the Bell experiment, which has now been proven time in, time out that
are we talking about
wrong on the theory of relativity. Niels Bohr owned them in the 30s with it. They proved it in the 50s a bit. They couldn't isolate it, and they used like observatories from out in space now. They use light from way out.
I don't think a person. Okay, for
it's
instance,
an electric universe.
This is the thing. Einstein could be half as intelligent as Tesla. Okay, but Tesla failed to put forth anything while he was alive. Really, like he really had struggled to get any idea across. Whether he couldn't even protect his ideas from theft, or the guy couldn't. I mean, that's a problem too. I'm talking an overall onion of life. Einstein will dominate Tesla every day. There could be Einstein a Tesla coming up
on every single thing.
Sorry,
he broke the atom. That's one thing he did well. But he had help with all his boys, Oppenheimer. They did all that, and then he had great.
Why wouldn't you? This is a agree to disagree moment. I think
the theory of relativity is wrong. You either believe in something called the electric universe, and someone just said Newton. I'm all for Newton, but like Einstein's someone who time has forgotten about, which, and then you wonder about narratives, but Walter Russell, who was buddies with Tesla, the one thing Newton never figured out is why the apple got there in the first place. And all you gotta do, Einstein spent 20 years not being able to relate the large with the quantum because he was wrong.
It would have taken me 100 lifetimes.
And
I'm not debating that whatsoever. Yeah. Like Tesla was a pure freaking genius. He just didn't have the ability to do anything about it. Honest to God,
he was shut down by so many people.
Then he allowed it. Like there was something about him as a person that could not push through the barrier.
The same way that
he's immediately downgraded for me.
The same way that Bitcoin has been held down. The same way that any advanced technology.
Then why don't we use it, Moonbright? Like why did it take so long? Why didn't we have Wi-Fi or any of this stuff when he was alive? Honestly,
why didn't we have electric cars when they were built in the 30s?
Well, he's talking about electricity from tower to towers in Letuk. I'm just saying, like, he had ideas that were mind-blowingly advanced, and yet, for some reason, he could not, for the life of him, do anything real with it. Like, he immediately goes down. Like, I mean, in my books, immediately.
I liken Einstein to a Bill Gates. He's just a media darling, and they take on the media darling. Look at Fauci right now. Fauci's been exposed. All these emails coming out. Showing all this stuff that some people were censored for even entertaining the idea of a lab leak and stuff. And I'm not trying to go that way. What I'm saying is we choose people in history and we put them on the forefront doesn't mean they were actually the best thing ever.
No, for sure. For sure.
And all I have to say is, just look at Niels Bohr and the Bell experiments along with Einstein. Right there, Einstein said that if that experiment proved true, that he was wrong, and it was proven true, and the media never brought it out. Now it's a surefire thing. So the Rockefellers. Yeah, there was a whole lot. I mean, if you really do your research on Tesla,
it's not about doing the I should say.
Well, I work with Tesla stuff, so
it's literally just clearly. Maybe it's the salesperson in me. I don't know. But like, I've just got way more appreciation from someone who can see it from the beginning to end.
Hey, Shiva, why do I sound like Trump?
Dude, you know what's funny?
He's saying he wants me to shut up because I sound like Trump. But yet, it was in the news today. It was in the news that Fauci lied about it. There was emails that leaked, and he lied about the leak.
Shivam is a brand new. Shivam is a brand new member on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Shivam, for being a new member on my channel. But no, that's not just because something goes against your narrative doesn't mean it represents something you hate. But the Fauci emails are 100% for real.
I don't like any politician.
No, Tim Perry is not a political guy at all. I can say that much.
But I will objectively say that, at that one point, I think Trump's just as scummy as the rest. But Trump at least was trying to say that there was some stuff to the to the
There's
league.
a shocking
Well, I'm
amount
just
of
being a
right-wing people in
Jason
this.
Spooner. Remember the good old days when we talked about crypto?
This is why I didn't want to go, because you guys are.
That's where these conversations end up. It's okay.
I think I just came up with a new show. It's called Off the Rails, and I will host it, and we will just go. I love it. I'm enjoying this. I'm being honest. I enjoy it.
I'm kind of enjoying it too. I don't
Honestly,
think
I think that's why I swapped the whole narrative for my crypto Sundays to the whole show about nothing, because we'll talk about crypto and then we'll just get into whatever the F we want for as long as we want. Simple as that.
Anyways, all right, we'll go back to crypto.
Yeah.
Maybe someone in the chat can.
I think
Well,
that boat is sailed.
I
long
think
Someone
ago.
was asking about
I
VeChain.
I think it's in the red so bad it ain't coming out tonight.
People are asking about other coins and stuff. Someone want to know, like, so why don't we let someone in the chat ask us about some stuff?
Someone asked about VeChain earlier.
no people
Fire
love
chat.
listening to you.
Oh,
Sydney said love listening to you, Tim Barry, and Nate's like, this is so funny. Anyways, I think this is good.
I like getting off track, but that's just, I mean, I don't know. But no, Tim, it sounded like you had something very serious to say about a coin.
No, someone had put something. Someone had asked me a question, and Tim had highlighted it. Anyways, what do I think about Maker? Amazing. Maker, Compound Labs, all those top curve, they're not going anywhere. And they're going to play with each other too, right? They're all going to they all benefit each other. And that's where I'm still learning right now, to be honest. Like I've told Neil that I've been trying to like there's such this alpha leak stuff we're talking about. And like I said, I'm willing to share it once I understand it more. But even me, I'm still wrapping my head around some of these people going, I'm going to borrow from over here, and then I'm going to send it over to Maker, and I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to stake it over here. I'm going to earn this much, and it's all going to pay itself off. It's hieroglyphs to even me that I'm still learning about. May 15th, I guess you're new here. I love Matic. My favorite thing going. Thoughts on EP? It's the only thing that I think we're definitely going to have to, when that comes, we're going to have to reassess all the layer 2s. I'm waiting for version 2 Ethereum to really scale out of possibly Matic. For now, I think I'm safe, but once EIP comes, then we're going to have to definitely jump the narratives, I think.
What about this one?
That's the one. Yeah, I don't know. That's the one I want to look into, because I've heard Spark. Heard Spark, but I've never heard of Flare, unless they're both the same thing. But I think you earn Spark, right? Or something for Flare, maybe. But I've heard of that, which makes me think I should start researching it again.
Hey, it's Flare and Spark, fire.
Card Starter, that's one of Neil's ones, because obviously that's Cardano's Launchpad coin. So yeah, if you're into Cardano, definitely that would be something you might want to get into. It did a huge gain. Love FTM. That's a narrative I'm waiting. It's gotten trashed in the last couple of weeks with price, but it's obviously got a good cheap solution to the Ethereum issue.
It's a pretty good price right now too.
Well, Flare's the token. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Phantom's gone down big.
And Nate just said he bought Tron and immediately fell in love with Justin Sun. Did you hear he's making an announcement?
That's a joke. He's clearly not in love with Justin Sun, because that's all Justin Sun does is make announcements of announcements.
Oh, which is why he put laugh out loud underneath
Yeah,
it. You're very funny, Nate. I was trying to help you out here.
Well, you did.
No, I knew the sarcasm was right there when he said announcement of an announcement.
Yeah. And then and Genuine saying FLR. I'm sure that's that same Flare. And Mark Lazarick is saying Flare is the company, Spark is the token, and he would like to learn more about this too. So and
what about Celsius? What do you think about Celsius?
I told you, me and Haas, we love it. I've never actually used it now because I'm messing around with the DeFi. I went to look at how much, because they got decent staking for Matic. It's 14%, I think.
On Celsius?
What's that?
On Celsius has staking for Matic?
14%, which is pretty high. And we're just talking staking, right? Because obviously when you before I was talking higher APIs. I found out though it's only on your mobile, I think, because I couldn't find any app on laptops. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know about people, but I don't like managing and punching in all my numbers on my phone.
No,
And
no.
especially when I'm doing copy and pasting addresses, I like to have like bigger screens and be watching everything.
Especially with
I don't know why
kids.
that turned me off. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes. They turned it all away.
Did Ken know? Do you know if Celsius is?
No
Yeah.
idea.
I thought-
No. Anyways, well, I think this is a good place for us to end it tonight. For any of you that want to have some more crypto chat and it goes into crazy world of who knows what, then we do this on Sunday nights on Ryan's channel, which is HiRye. And as always, Ken, Neil, and Tim Perry, you are amazing, awesome. This has been certainly an unexpectedly, wonderfully fun night tonight. And for everybody that joined in, you guys were amazing. I had more laughs tonight and head shaking than I've had in a while. And we hope you join us again next Wednesday for more Crypto Night in Canada.
There's Eddie. Say goodbye, Eddie.
First hour's crypto.
That's so true. Classic.
Anyways, see you next week.
See you
Good night,
guys.
everyone.
Thanks.